Hi, I'm Hugh from TreeMakers, and today we're going to talk about autumn fertilisation using solid organic fertilisers.
Fertilisation is a pivotal aspect of bonsai cultivation. The volcanic substrates we use in bonsai function more similarly to a hydroponic system. This aids in striking a balance of water and oxygen. And so, it is paramount to the health of our trees that we have a constant application of nutrition to cultivate our bonsai. Autumn is a key time to fertilise our trees, as they are storing resources for next season. Applying nutrition to our trees at this time of year fuels metabolic function that will be responsible for next season's growth.
At TreeMakers, we like to use the tea bag method in order to fertilise our trees. These tea bags we fill with organic solid fertilisers, and filling the tea bags with this fertiliser enables it to leach out into the soil, much like a tea bag would in your cup of tea. Organic fertilisation is also more preferred for bonsai practice because it feeds the microbiome in the soil and allows for a healthier environment in our soil system. And this season we've been using this product, which is called Nutrog Bush Tucker. As you can see, it's a nice, solid, organic pelletorized fertilizer. The nitrogen source in this fertilizer is ammonium-based, which is highly plant available and aids in all those metabolic functions such as photosynthesis and building amino acids. It also has a really nice balance of the other elements, potassium, phosphorus, and also a high amount of available calcium, making metabolic functionality in the tree very available. So here we have our tea bags, a nice size so that we can fit in as much fertilizer as we need. So what we do to fill these up is we simply just open the bag, and here we're taking roughly about a 20-gram scoop. This modified soup spoon enables us to get that 20 grams into each bag. We simply just put our thumbs underneath it, roll it over, and that seals us off. So how do we know how many bags we're applying to our soil surface? Generally, what we're calibrating to is roughly about a 12-inch or a 30-centimeter square area. We want to apply about 3 bags of these 20-gram filled fertilizer bags. This is working out roughly to the same ratio that is recommended on the product, maybe a little bit more. So on a tree like this, which is roughly a little bit bigger than a 12-inch or 30-centimeter wide surface area or close to it, we can apply 3 to 4 bags on this tree. So I'll be happily applying about 4 bags on each corner, evenly spaced around the container, in order to have nutrition being applied evenly across the tree's soil surface. We want to apply them directly down on the soil surface and use a toothpick to just simply prick that straight in to hold it down so it doesn't move around when we're watering, through weather like wind, or animals that might potentially come along and knock these fertilizer bags around. So as you can see here, I've rolled over the excess of the tea bag. This is just to create a more minimal footprint of the tea bag on the soil surface so we don't have this papery material flapping out all about. I've made sure to put the toothpick straight through the middle so that it holds that flap down. It's purely just for aesthetics and a little bit more of a functional kind of look and practicality. Another practicality of using the tea bag method is that we can apply nutrition to elevated or exposed or vertical soil surfaces like we see on this ficus rock planting. We can very easily apply fertilizer to a region where it would be difficult to apply that nutrition unless we use something like liquid fertilizing. All these bags are evenly spaced around the soil surface so that we get consistent nutrition around the container. So when it comes to timing of when we use these organic pelletorized fertilizers, it all comes down to the stage of development. So the most simple way to calibrate to this is to understand primary development, secondary development, and tertiary development or refinement. In the first fertilization around March, we're going to be applying fertilizer bags to our trees in primary development, secondary development, and also our more refined trees which are in tertiary development. When it comes to our second round of fertilization, which will happen in 4 to 6 weeks, we will then apply fertilization to our primary development and secondary development trees, but leave out our refinement trees. And thirdly, when we come to that May, or that final round of fertilization, we're only going to be applying that to our primary development trees. The reverse would happen in springtime. Usually we're fertilizing in spring, September, October, and November, and we'll actually do the reverse. So primary development trees will start off in spring, in September. Moving on to October, we would then do our primary and our secondary trees. And then lastly, once all the growth is hardened off in the spring, we'll apply to our primary, secondary, and finally our tertiary trees. We only want to apply some nutrition to our tertiary trees so that we don't create too vigorous a growth, so that we can maintain that finer, more delicate foliage mass. Now, there are sometimes outliers in this fertilizing systems, such as trees that are in pre-development, aka trees that are young, developmental whips, or material that is not yet in the smaller bonsai container. We would be fertilizing them quite regularly throughout this whole process. Other exceptions might be pine trees. Even in refinement, we're going to be fertilizing those very early in spring to apply enough nutrition so that we can candle prune in the summer. But for the most part, this system is a really great way in order for you to start understanding how and when you would fertilize different trees and at different stages of development. I hope this little fertilization tutorial helps you to understand solid organic fertilization in the autumn time. If you need any of these products, we're here to help. We have empty bags available for sale, as well as pre-filled bags that we offer as a service, and other fertilizing solutions such as liquid organic fertilizers. See you next time.